for this?
Welcome, everybody. We are back. It feels like it's been a minute, even though it's only been a week. But welcome to episode 13, lucky number 13 from Meadow Drive Hoops. Things look a little different. You've already seen my face, but you haven't seen this guy's face. I'm Drew, and with me here as always,
Tony.
And Mike, unfortunately, will not be here tonight. He's doing some adulting. It's always fun. But Tony, how you been?
I'm good, man. I'm liking the trajectory of the Spurs right now. I'll just put it to you like that.
Yeah, same. I haven't been this happy and excited to be a Spurs fan in a while. Because as you know, it's been hard being a Spurs fan for the past quarter of not century, but I guess like quarter of a decade. Team hasn't been in the playoffs since 2019, and now it looks like tonight. I mean, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but tonight, they're on their way to getting 50 again for the first time in quite a long time. So they play the Clippers tonight. Possibility that Kawhi might not even play. He apparently twisted his ankle in the previous game. So Kawhi-less Clippers.
That's very unusual.
Well, you mean Kawhi, who is never hurt? But yeah, they will be playing the Clippers tonight, I believe, on Peacock, and it'll be at 9 p.m. Central Time, our time. 10 p.m. Eastern for all of our Eastern friends. But yeah, like Tony just mentioned, it's been pretty good being a Spurs fan. They have been 16-2 since February. They've had the best record in the league since February. The month of February, I'm saying February a lot for a reason, but February was a big month for the Spurs. They went undefeated. Mitch Johnson was the coach of the month. Victor Wembanyama was not only the player of the month for the Western Conference, but also the Western Conference Defensive Player of the Month. And Dylan Harper was the Rookie of the Month. So I don't know if that's a first time ever. Maybe not, but it's the first time I remember where three players had big accolades just for 1 month. But I'm liking the Spurs team. I mean, it seems like this team's gelling well. I know we talked about it on a previous show where, what's going to happen when everybody is playing on the same team. Because for the beginning of the season, this team dealt with injuries. Now, I mean, yeah, people have gotten hurt, but nothing too serious. But now everyone's gelling well. Everyone knows their role. Wemby's doing Wemby things. He's at the point where he's figuring out his potential. Fox kind of knows his role as the seasoned vet, where if he can't give you 25 a night, he can maybe dish out 10 assists. Castle's a walking triple-double machine at this point. And Harper's Harper, and everybody else knows the role. But I've rambled on long enough. Give me your thoughts on the past month as a Spurs fan.
You can ramble on. I got a question for you.
Oh.
Do you think Mitch Johnson is Coach of the Year this year? I think he's done enough for it. We beat the Pistons twice. JB Bickerstaff, I think he was the front runner for it. It was him and Mitch. And obviously we beat them twice already. And we had the win streak. And we're just playing like out of body right now.
Yeah.
So for me, I think Mitch Johnson, and this is just bias aside, I think he's earned enough to be the Coach of the Year for this season. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't want to say just yet. I think he's done a really good job at proving himself as being not just a coach, but a leader for this team. For a while, being a head coach in the NBA almost felt like it was just like, oh, we need someone just to stand there and look pretty. Whereas nowadays, it seems like head coaches are coming back into the NBA, and I like that because, you know, for the longest time, the Warriors, were that self-taught team. Nowadays, you have a lot of younger players coming in that need that loud voice kind of telling them where to go, that need that guidance. So I think Mitch Johnson's proved himself. To be honest, I think you kind of need to eat a little bit of crow because I know you're a little bit you're a little hard on him in the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
Which deservedly so. Yeah,
it was just because of last season he was handed the torch, the tail middle, probably 2/4 of the halfway through the season, and I didn't see any potential in him.
Yeah,
and it came out in a report that the roles weren't specified when he transitioned in and Pop was out. So
yeah.
I think that could have been one of the underlying factors for it. And then also we're still a year younger and we didn't have Dylan Harper and, we had De'Aaron Fox halfway through the season. So I was judging him harshly, given everything that he had available to his disposal, but maybe I might have been too harsh on him.
Yeah.
And just giving him a full season. But as a Spurs fan, we're used to winning. So I was kind of upset that we were losing.
No, I get you. To be fair, Popovich came in on a losing season, and look what happened. They got Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
So it's deservingly so to have criticism over someone who takes over a legend, and when we think of Popovich, it's like, who can take over that? It's like Mitch Johnson. Who's this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he's proven himself. Will he win Coach of the Year? The Spurs fan in me says yes, but I don't know if he will.
Who do you have?
Personally, I would have Joe Mazzulla from the Celtics. I think
Whoa, really?
I think he's done a great job with that team because, up until Jason Tatum came back, that team had been playing like great basketball, which I don't want to say just Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown's really, really good, but it's just
Superstar.
like, Derek White, former Spur, he's been playing, crazy this year. Pritchard, he's been playing great. Even their role players, which the game with the Spurs, like they put out a not a stat, but like a fact where they had spent pretty much like next to nothing signing a lot of these role players to save money. And so far it's worked because a lot of their role players, and I wish I can remember their names, they were balling out in that game against San Antonio. Like they were kind of shooting lights out. So I wouldn't be mad if Joe Mazzulla won. I think he's deserved it this year. And now that you got Jason Tatum back, Detroit's really holding on to that number one spot.
We just beat them, by the way.
Yeah.
Joe Mazzulla. I know that doesn't matter in the long scheme thing, the grand scheme, but we do have a better overall record than them.
Yeah,
we do. I just think it's just between right now, from what I've been seeing, it's just a two-headed race between Mitch and JB Bickerstaff. So, let's just be honest, man. Like last year, we were horrible. Yeah. We were horrible. And 2 years ago, the Detroit Pistons, they had like the worst winning streak ever. I think it was like 31 games in a row or 30 games in a row.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see that turnaround. I'm content with it. And they also played well last year too. So this is not, new for them. This is their second year being successful. And Cage Cunningham coming into his own. But okay, I'll just be a little biased. I think Mitch should win. So I'll just be a little biased. So
okay. I think Wemby's a lock for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh yes, yes, he is. He is.
Also, our boy Vic, he climbed up the ranks for MVP. Now he's number 2.
I was going to ask you about that. I have one of those things on my list to talk about. Do you see him winning MVP right now, because apparently he's number 2 in the MVP race right now, obviously behind Shea. And I'm glad they finally got rid of Jokic on the MVP. I think it's just voters fatigue at this point. Yeah. Not to say that his stats, he's averaging triple-double, cool, whatever, but at a certain point, they kind of did it to Giannis, when he was, won his 2 MVPs. They kind of want to, see some other people step up. And I'm kind of weirded out. Also, I thought by this time, man, it's been like what 4 or 5 years. Like, I mean, I think Luka should eventually be in talks of MVP. I thought he would be in this year, but I don't know if the league likes him as much because he's always complaining to the refs and things of that sort. And so yeah, it's between right now. Jokic is 3rd, and then Wemby and SGA. But at a certain point, the league's just gonna have to give into it, man, because he's already ascending for whatever it is, and we're not gonna be able to hold this, this genie in the bottle anymore. He's gonna come out, and he's coming out this year. He's out, man. He's full throttle. He's showing the whole package. He's throwing alley-oops, the castle, like a point guard. Like, dude, awesome. Yes, man. And didn't he throw one to Cornette, French Vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just running it like a point. It's amazing. Like, and he's Showtime. Like, he has climbed into my top 5 most entertaining players to watch.
Yeah.
He's must-see TV. He's going to do a highlight. He might do a spin move, dunk over somebody. He might pull up and make 3 threes in a row. He might make a highlight reel pass, highlight reel block. He's just, something's going to happen. And he is a top 5 player in this league to watch at this point.
I mean, it shows up in the ratings because, like, I think the Spurs are one of the top rated teams as far as like TV goes, because, and I said this before and I stand by it, like even back in the day when they were good, when they had Tim Duncan and David Robinson and Manu and Tony, they were still considered a low rated team because they're in San Antonio and Tim Duncan, greatest power forward of all time, but let's just be honest, he didn't do anything that was like overly spectacular. How
many MVPs did Tim Duncan win? 2. Okay. 2.
But no, boring and logical brought this city 5 championships. No, so I'm not complaining.
But no complaints for me. I had none.
But in some ways, it almost feels like Tim Duncan's career is underrated, because you'll hear people still say, "Oh, Karl Malone," or "Oh, Charles Barkley." Even Charles Barkley's like, "No, Tim's better." Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I think Wemby's more of a generational talent. I think he's a little bit more box office because, like you said, 7'6" guy, can run the court like a guard, can shoot like a guard, can pass like a guard, can throw alley oops like a guard.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I guess I'm so used to people taking their time to reach their potential, and Wemby's like, no, fuck you, I'm already at my potential, and I'll even pass my potential and create a whole new potential. But I don't know, like, I think he was like number 4 or 5 in the MVP rankings. Now he's climbed up to 2, and it's going to be a crazy race for the MVP, because I think there's like 14 or 15 more games left in the season.
Do you think that we have the potential to touch OKC? We have the tiebreaker. Yeah. So even if we do get to the same record, we would win out. Would that be enough? Okay, first of all, do you think we can catch up?
I mean, it's a possibility. They just got to keep this momentum going. OKC, they just got SGA back not too long ago. They lost Jalen Williams just recently.
Man, I'm kind of scared for them with that guy, man, because this is around the time, like Jason Tatum. He came back from his injury, because this is a time, time you get your guys in that you're kind of making a play. playoff push with to kind of get the legs under them. And we're about we're actually a little bit less than a month. So you want to kind of get these guys in and try to see the movement, the feel within the game. And this guy's been consistently injured for the vast majority of the season, like 3/4 of the season. This dude's been injured. So I'm just saying, and when it comes down to matchups and playoff time, and y'all don't have that dude Jalen Williams, I'm taking the Spurs in a 7-game series. I'm sorry. Without Jalen Williams, we already beat him with J-Dub already. So I think if that comes down and he's not available, I don't know when his timetable is. I haven't heard when he's coming back. And they're gonna be able to beat, these other teams, like, because they're gonna be obviously playing one of the play-in teams, the 8th seed or whatever. And they should, have a good success rate against that. I think the Warriors are like number 8 right now. And if the playoffs were to start right now, we would be playing the Phoenix Suns right now. So I mean, they're gonna give us a little problem, Dylan Brooks, but I think we'll just overwhelm them. And then, Devin Booker's gonna go off. He probably averaged like 30 during the series, but it's just all the other supplementary pieces I think we have an advantage over. But Jalen Williams, man, I don't know. I just haven't seen enough of him this year, man. So I'm kind of worried about him in that aspect.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, I mean, I think it's possible they can catch up to him. Yeah. But only time will tell. I honestly think to be fair, I think 1 and 2 are just going to stay the same. I think it's going to be OKC and San Antonio. It's not a bad thing. I think everything below that could change. I mean, number 3 could end up being a toss up between the Lakers or Houston or maybe even Denver. The final like 7 through 10 are interchangeable, but I think 1 and 2 are going to stay the same. It's just going to be, OKC and San Antonio. The Lakers are starting to make a little bit of noise because Luka's taking over the team and LeBron is kind of doing what you said he was going to do, but not exactly bench. He's more just like taking a lesser role and is like, hey, maybe I shouldn't worry about scoring 30 points a night. Maybe I should just be a distributor and just play defense and let Luka take over. And it's working. I hate it because, by nature, fuck the Lakers, but it's working. I mean, I even said before, like the beginning of the season when they didn't have LeBron, they were playing better. And now that he's taken a lesser role, they're back to playing better, which I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah. It doesn't look good for him, though. Like, obviously, whatever they're going to end up playing in the first round, I mean, they're going to avoid us. And it sucks for them because they might get the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves are at the 6th seed. They're either at the 6th or 5th seed. But they just don't match up well against anybody. Like, they look good. They're going to score a bunch of points. Him and Reeves, up and down the floor. But when it comes down to the playoff series and it comes down to matchups, and, I don't think they're going to beat the Timberwolves. I wish we would play them in the first round. That'd be my dream matchup. That we play them in the second round the second round or the first round. That's not going to happen, though. But, things are shaping out. And like you said, right now it's us OKC number 1, Spurs number 2, Lakers number 3, and the Denver Nuggets number 4. And then the Denver Nuggets have always been their Achilles heel.
Actually, the Rockets are currently number 4.
Oh, okay.
Nuggets are 5. Timberwolves are 6. Suns are still at 7. The Clippers are 8. Yeah. Warriors 9. And the Blazers are 10. So I think those 10 are going to stay in that top 10 because Grizzlies ain't doing shit. Mavericks, Pelicans, Jazz. The Kings already got eliminated early.
What? I got a question for you. Can you go to the Eastern Conference? Where is Atlanta
out? They're number 9.
Oh my gosh!
They've won 9 of the last 10.
Lose. Ever since they got Jonathan Kuminga and they got him, now they want to play good. And that means like it doesn't even matter because they're going to have a chance to make the play. And who's the 8th seed?
The Sixers.
Where are the Hornets at?
They're number 10.
Oh man, they didn't make that push that they needed to make. Dang. Well, hey man, we gotta spray and pray and hope that the Hawks don't make the playoffs. We gotta hope and pray, man.
Right. So yeah, Eastern Conference, Detroit, Boston, New York, Cavs, Magic, who've won 8 of the last 10. The Raptors, number 6, the Heat. The Heat just somehow find ways to win. Mm-hmm. So they're a really good organization. The Sixers, the Hawks, and the Hornets, like I mentioned. Bucks definitely aren't making the playoffs. You know, they're the Bulls, the Nets, the Wizards, or the Pacers.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Huh.
I know you saw it, man. What did you think about Bam 83 points in a game? I have my thoughts on it. I want to hear yours.
I mean, good for him. If you have a chance to go for history, then do it. He's getting a lot of hate for it, and I don't understand why. You know, it's like, yeah, he took 40 free throws, and it's like, well, they shouldn't have fouled him 40 times. Like, what do you want? And it's against the Wizards, and they suck. I got no issue with it. Good for him.
I have a bone to pick with it. I don't respect the way how he got it. This is the reason. Okay. So we've seen like James Harden go off, even Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid dropped 71 against Wemby his rookie year. I think it was his rookie year. He went off. But the coach pulled him. You know, I think Devin Booker too. I think they ended up pulling these guys like out of respect, like with like 3 minutes left. They could have went for something really, really big, but the outside factors, you know, prevent them from going further. The thing I don't respect about it is that the Heat players were fouling the Wizards so that they can get the ball back and they could give it to Bam. It wasn't like the Lakers where Kobe just got it by just shooting over 3 people or whatever. It was like his team was fouling the Wizards, so they would shoot free throws and then they would just give him the ball. And I was just like, this is not the right way to do it. It's not. And then obviously Spoelstra was on board because he didn't pull him.
Right.
So we had a lot of ulterior factors going on to help him reach that feat. And he's still not a superstar in my eyes.
Right. I could see where it's coming from because like I kind of had my gripes with it. Like it's one of those things I'm just like I'm not really for it or against it. To be honest, there's a part of me that kind of forgot about it because when you think about Kobe, like we remember Kobe's 81 because like you saw it. Like you always told me the story about when you saw it live. You know, that's something you remember. Like Bam's, like you just said, it's like he kind of got it the cheap way.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, whatever. Like, you know, I can't really like get on someone for doing something cool. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, and also, I don't mean to cut you off. I'll finish up. But like, Bam is a very, very good player, but he's not a star.
I'll give him all-star. I'll give him that. He's not a superstar.
Right.
Not a superstar. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Wemby's a star. You know, Jokic is a star.
Yeah.
You know, Giannis is a star. Like Bam he's an all-star, but he's not a game changer. I mean, for that Miami Heat team, he's very, very good. But like, I think in like the next game, for the Heat, he had like what, not even that many points, like 15 points, 18 points or something.
Yeah, he's not a difference maker, and he's able to. They traded away Jimmy buckets, and I mean, it's just him and Wiggs and Hero. So like, he is going to get the ball whenever he wants. But another thing that bothers me, like if you like, let's just think of like players in the league off the top of your head that are like, if he can get 81 or 83 if he really wanted to. I felt like Steph could have got it if Steve Kerr is known for sitting out people. He sat out Klay Thompson when he was on that hot streak, and he scored that I think he scored the most amount of points in a quarter or whatever. Steve Kerr ended up pulling him in the fourth quarter, with 5 minutes left or 4 minutes left. So Clay wasn't even able to reach his full potential on what that game could have been. So, I'm just throwing, some names out there. So Clay got pulled. Steph is more than capable of dropping 83. Kevin Durant, Harden in his heyday, in his prime, and I think Harden went out for like 60. He got pulled. I just think that a lot of players, like if you think at the top of your head, Bam is not even in the top 20 players that you would even think to be like, oh yeah, that guy, he'll give you 83. I just think if a lot of these superstars, Damian Lillard is gone off for like 60, Donovan Mitchell, I'm just throwing some names out there. These guys are capable, but they just weren't given the opportunity. That's all I'm saying. So,
no, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you would have expected, I guess, a lot more of the elite players to get to that, but I don't know, circumstances,
Yeah.
and it's the Heat and it's Eric Spoelstra, who, again, very good coach, but in some ways he tries to be, good cop more than bad cop sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
In my opinion, I think his career might be a little overrated, just the circumstances that he had playing with a super team. Like, if you think about it, like his only success was out of that, and he hasn't.
Well, I mean, he got the Heat to 2 championships with just Jimmy Butler at the helm. So, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, and he's still the longest tenured coach currently right now for a reason. So, I mean, I got respect for Spoelstra.
Yeah, I just felt like he wasn't able to like fully move the needle without those, 3 generational talents on one team. Actually, 4, kind of in a way, if you count Ray Allen. Ray Allen was really, really good, but he may be a little overrated in my book, a little bit. Him and Kerr a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
He's inherited a lot of talent and had a really, really good roster to inherit and stepped into that role, and voila, 4 championships. So Spoelstra too. So I mean, they just had to prove a little bit more to me. If Spoelstra would have won a championship without that super team, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's defined, he's stamped, he's validated with me. But he did have some success, but he wasn't able to ever reach the mountaintop.
No, very, very, very true.
Yeah.
But I guess we're done on that topic. What do you want to talk about next?
So Harper and Cornette are out tonight. They said Harper was out with a ankle injury.
Calf.
Oh, calf injury. Okay, calf. Mm-hmm. And Cornette is out also. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's kind of like, hey, look, we're close to the end of the season. We kind of got to rest our guys a little bit. I do think that Wemby will reach he only has 3 games left to miss. He only has 3 more games. I think he will finally get awards this year. He will finally get awards. I think he wants it. Like, you see it in the interviews, and I know you've seen the last game where he's talking about he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. That's in the cards for him. So I think he'll win awards. And I think that, it's around the time where we're going to start resting some people to get geared up for the playoffs.
I know. Yeah, agreed. I know. Yeah, Harper. The game from the other night with the Nuggets, like he had to come out for a little bit because he fell on that calf, and I guess it wasn't that serious because he ended up coming back and finishing the game. So yeah, I do think kind of what you just said, it's not that serious.
Yeah,
because we're gearing towards the end of the season, and with Mitch Johnson, is like we're already gelling. We already clinched a playoff spot. I think I can afford to lose some guys for a few nights. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe like the last game of the season, last 2 games of the season, you see Wemby's minutes maybe limit a little bit just so they can preserve him for the playoffs. If he's already at a spot where it's just like he's a guaranteed lock for MVP or Defensive Player of the Year, or same thing with Mitch, guaranteed lock for Coach of the Year. So, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's that serious. I know Cornette's been kind of dealing with an ankle problem all year. And I think that's the same calf that Harper injured earlier. So I just think the Spurs are just taking extra precaution, especially, heading into the final game of the year.
Yes. I have one sweeping stat that I was really, really surprised about that I was looking at, the stat sheet earlier, just to kind of see what our averages are, like points per game, assists, rebounds, and all of that. Surprised to see that Castle is leading the team in assists with 7. And behind him, he's actually beating Fox out. Fox is averaging 6.3 assists. That is impressive for Castle. I wasn't surprised to see his assist numbers up that high.
Yeah, I mean, Castle's found a way to limit the turnovers, because I think there was a point where he was leading either the team or the league or both in turnovers.
The league, yeah.
Yeah. And now he's leading the team in assists. And, I mentioned earlier about the team gelling. Now they're getting better at defending the 3-point shot. They're not turning the ball over as much. They find ways to, like, for example, if they get the other night they did lose a big lead, but, they also didn't have Wemby, all things considered. But they do find ways to keep themselves in the game. They don't rely too much on threes, and when the 3 ball ain't working, they attack the rim a lot more.
Yeah.
Which I like that, by the way. So yeah, Castle is coming into his own. His jump shot is, slowly but surely coming in. I'm just waiting for that one game where we get to see all 3 guards on the court together. Because I know it's happened like sparingly before, but I'm looking for a game where like it officially happens.
Man, I've seen enough, man. I get what you're saying though, but I kind of reverting back to what you were saying earlier, how we're injured earlier in the season. And now we finally got to see what the potential of this team was, after Fox came back and Harper came back. And man, we did not leave any stone unturned. This is everything we envisioned and then some. We are ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule. I'm completely satisfied, man. I am satisfied with this year. I couldn't dream this upon, wishing upon a fallen star. Like I didn't see this happening, man. Like I saw us being able to make the playoffs, but just being dominant like this, man, like I'm thoroughly impressed, and we're gonna make some noise in the playoffs. We're gonna be a hard out. People don't want to face us. And the funny thing is, we played, who was it that we played? Oh, they were saying, I don't know how true this was, but I was listening to some of the casters, and we apparently, I don't know if they're doing this by design or on purpose, or if this is a coincidence. Apparently, every time we played the Denver Nuggets, Wemby has not played, or he's been injured, or he sat out, or something like that. And they weren't saying it was on purpose or by design, but it was more like, well, maybe they might be doing that for a scheme in the playoffs that the Denver Nuggets won't be able to counter when it happens. I don't know if that's by design or if it's just luck of the draw. But it's an interesting, theory that, we match up with these guys in the playoffs and they don't really have a lot to go off of, just off of footage, or even playing against us with Wemby. So I think that's something to look out for too.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. I mean, because I know the first game when they were playing in Denver without Wemby. That was a game where Vassell caught fire and he had like 33 or 36 points.
Oh man.
And the most recent game, it was still a close game. Granted, they had a big lead and they let it dwindle. But then again, a 20-point lead in nowadays NBA is like having a 5-point lead. So and it also didn't help that Jamal Murray, caught fire. So good on them. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to add to that. But eventually, that Wemby and Jokic matchup will be fun to watch. It'll be fun as hell to watch.
Yeah. Wemby is not the best defender either. So I think a lot of the matchups are going to be Aaron Jordan guarding Wemby because he's probably like a 6'9", 6'10", really, really bulky. So he's going to be facing him up a lot of the times. Jokic just kind of, teetering around the paint. And then Aaron Jordan has been injured a lot during the season also, kind of in and out of the lineup. So they haven't really got their full roster as of this year. But, they're always going to be within the hunt around there somewhere. So they didn't really miss them that much.
Right. I guess we could segue into the next topic. I guess the big topic at hand. So let me pull up the article. This is from ESPN.com. Sources: NBA set for first vote in Las Vegas, Seattle expansion. The NBA will hold a vote at the Board of Governors meeting next week to explore adding expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and Seattle. Sources told ESPN. With the two new franchises being targeted to start play in the 2028-2029 season. There is momentum within the Board of Governors and league office to approve moving forward with taking bids for franchises in Las Vegas and Seattle, according to sources with knowledge of the discussions. Industry executives project proposals in the $7 to $10 billion range for each team and estimate that both markets would be among the NBA's top 8 revenue generators. The market appeal of Las Vegas and Seattle, plus the party-friendly collective bargaining agreement, will likely lead to a robust purchase market for expansion. This marks the first of multiple critical steps towards the NBA expansion. The first vote will allow the league to focus on Las Vegas and Seattle and having a bidding process for both teams. There will then be a potential final vote later in the year to finalize the transactions in 32 teams. In both voting rounds, 23 of the 30 governors must vote in favor. Let me just kind of skim through that. And Commissioner Adam Silver said on December 16th at the NBA Cup Championship in Las Vegas that the league will decide in the calendar year of 2026 about whether it will proceed with pursuing expansion. And I'll just finish it up right here. Executives across the NBA expect either the Memphis Grizzlies or the Minnesota Timberwolves to move to the East to realign conferences, with 16 each when Seattle and Las Vegas become West teams. And the last time the league expanded was with Charlotte. So, the NBA is also moving forward with plans to bring a league to Europe, with final bids for prospective teams due in March 31st, sources said. And end quote. So, I also have something else here that pertains to that. It's potential rules. So, the NBA's expansion draft rules if it were to expand to Seattle and Las Vegas in 2027 and 2028. Teams can protect 8 of their players. Teams can't protect players on expiring contracts or restricted free agents. Expansion teams will get to steal unprotected players from teams. Only one player taken per team. Contracts transferred to the amount they are already agreed to. Expansion teams can get high chances at the number 1 pick. So, thoughts on that? Or everything in general?
Minnesota going to the East, that'd be crazy. Minnesota, Memphis, they're going to be fighting over that, man. Like, it'll be an easier road for AE in the East. So I mean that's something to look out for, because obviously the Las Vegas and Seattle are on the West. So, somebody's gonna have to weed out. So I mean, we just got to see what happens. But if anybody is deserving, I said it. Seattle has been chomping at the bit. They want this. I have friends up there that have been clamoring for a Seattle team for the longest, and I think it needs to happen. So, for that, yes. But I want to say something else, but I'll let you transition for your thoughts on it. But I have something to say after you.
No, I'm totally okay with this, because like Seattle had, like, the Seattle Supersonics were always a fun ass team.
Yeah,
like, that was one of my favorite teams. That's one of my favorite teams to this day, and that's a defunct team. And it sucks that the owners couldn't hold on to the licensing for that team. Gary Payton to this day doesn't acknowledge the OKC Thunder as the Seattle Sonics, and he shouldn't, because it's two very different teams. So I'm very much for Seattle getting another team. Las Vegas is kind of a gimme, because Las Vegas already has hockey, NFL, and I think they're getting a Major League Baseball team, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy, yeah.
So Las Vegas is like the entertainment mecca of the world. So it only makes sense for them to get a NBA team. Minnesota going to the East kind of makes sense, because Minnesota is part of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, and I believe Indiana. That's all part of the Midwest.
Yeah.
So they're kind of a gimme to go to the East. I was listening to First Take talk about it earlier, and Stephen A. Smith mentioned that there's a possibility that the Grizzlies could move to Nashville. They can move out of Memphis and go to Nashville, which they could block. New Orleans kind of seems like a logical choice to go out east.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of seems more logical. But I'm fine with the league expanding, because it's always going to be a thing. As for the possibility of the NBA moving out Europe, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do that already. I mean, Canada's not really Europe. It's just it's its own country. So I'm surprised there's not more teams outside of the U.S. Or the country in general.
It's the plane flights.
The
flights. So.
It's just like, hey, we're gonna play a game in Milwaukee, and then we're gonna play another game in China. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So, but I'm happy for Seattle getting a team back. I think that's kind of my only caveat, but that's kind of the one thing I take away from this, because small market teams do matter. Like, a lot of these small market teams, love their teams, like the Spurs.
Yeah.
Seattle almost seems like a very underrated city when you think of basketball, because when you think of Seattle, you think of grunge. You think of coffee. You think of rain. But you also think of the Seattle Supersonics from the 90s and also the 80s.
And the Seahawks just won the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a fan base.
Yeah, they definitely have a fan base. So I like this idea. I want it to happen, and I can't wait for it to happen.
I want to run something by you real quick before we cut the show off. What do you think about a top 16 playoff with the East and the West combined into one, and it just goes based off of your seeding in the top 16? I've been wanting this for a while. Everybody's like, oh, so what if the Miami Heat play, the Portland Trailblazers, and they got a 7-game series and this and that? Like, I think at some point that we need to do that. I think we should stop separating it and just do, the best 16 teams and put it all together, and we should battle it out like that. I honestly think it should go like that. But I don't. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that top 16.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before it happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens a lot sooner than later once they get, those two teams. It would definitely make the playoffs a little bit more exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, because they just did the same thing with the All-Star game this year with that new format, and it ended up being a success. So them changing the playoff format from 1 through 8 to 1 versus 16, with I don't know if you said it, but like top 8 teams from both conferences battle it out in just one bracket. Not like all 16 teams from the West. It's just like the worst teams are going to make the playoffs. Like it makes sense to have like 8 and 8, and just have like a Sweet 16. So I'm definitely fine with that, because it would make the championship, it would make the games more exciting. It would make the teams play with a much more sense of urgency. And it would make the championship games exciting, because like imagine the NBA Finals and it's the Spurs versus the Lakers, or the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New York Knicks. So, or not even the New York Knicks, but like the New York Knicks versus the the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. So I'm all for that. Yeah, like if I really hope that does happen. Like that would be fun as fuck to watch.
Yeah. I think it'd be really, really cool, but we'll see if they'll lead just to that. And I think they should be open to that and just, try something new. But I think that should be a topic up for discussion.
So. Yes, sir. I agree. Was there anything else you want to bring up?
No, we covered everything on my end.
I got it. That was everything I wanted to bring up. But yeah, Spurs game later tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern on Peacock in LA against the Clippers. Apparently the Clippers are Kawhi-less, so we'll see how that works out. As far as the week goes for the Experience YouTube channel, we're now at 204 in subs last I checked, so awesome. Let's see if we can get to 300. But show schedule. Wednesday morning, you're going to get 2 shows. Early in the morning at 11, you're going to get another episode of Lunches with Punches with my friend Joe. We'll be talking about the Oscars and everything we watched as far as movies and TV shows go. And of course, later on that night at 8 p.m. Central Time, you'll get The Experience, another episode of The Experience with myself, Justin, and Ruben. We'll be talking about the week of wrestling, including AEW Revolution and whatever else comes to mind. And I think that's about it as far as shows goes. But yeah, DY Experience at Twitter and then Instagram, TikTok are the other social media handles. And just subscribe to the channel. That's all I gotta say. Subscribe. Subscribe. Leave a like and a comment, and also, obviously leave a like and a comment because it helps with the algorithm. So what are we gonna say?
And comment. I want if y'all can. I want to have the people, on TikTok also. What do y'all think about the opening music? The opening, the opening music for the channel or for the So
TikTok's crazy because we get the most views on YouTube. We get probably the most comments on TikTok. Granted, it's not always the best comments. It's usually just people wanting to argue. It's just like I say nice things about AEW, I say bad things about AEW, and I still get criticized by AEW fans. So it's like I can't win. I can't win with these people that are defending fake fighting. So whatever. Anyways, that's it, people. We're done. We'll see y'all next week, and peace out.